Okay, so you've been hearing a lot about AI this, AI that, but what does this AI advancement really mean to the average person? Welcome back to Listen to Leo. In today's video, I wanted to explore what I've been thinking about kind of the future of everything with regards to AI and how you should be viewing it from the perspective of whatever it is you work on. So, to get started, I think one of the things that most people don't see with AI is the speed of evolution with which AI happens. And as someone who's been interested in tech his whole life, I've been following all sorts of cutting edge technologies, and I love just hearing about the latest and greatest stuff. And when I was in high school, I was completely obsessed with it. I was always learning about the new hardware that came out, the new this, the new that. But over time, that became exhausting. It became so hard to keep track of everything that was happening and manage, life, getting married, having kids, finding jobs, doing all of that, right? And so it becomes very, very hard to keep up. But a lot of times, you can keep an eye on things, not necessarily right up to date, but close enough. You have a general idea of where industries are heading, what's coming, what's new, and all of that. With AI, we don't really have that. And because it's happening so fast from an industry perspective. Everything is advancing at blazing speed. And as someone whose job is really wrapped around the idea of generative AI and how we can use it to really enable people to have extraordinary abilities and, dare I say, superpowers. One of the things that we have to do is we have to keep an eye on what's happening. We have to keep up to date. And it is tough. And one of the things that I'm really grateful for is a lot of the open source communities out there around different packages like LangChain or Llama Index that, these packages really make it easy for developers to use the latest and greatest advancements in research. People package those up and enable anyone to be able to use them without understanding all of the research that goes into it. And because of this cycle, we've got like open research coming out, and then that gets turned very, very quickly into code and open source repositories that a lot of the developers in the space are already using. And so it's hard to keep up. And one of the things I have to keep doing, I use LangChain personally. And so I have to keep updating LangChain to the latest version and figuring out what all is different because it is advancing so quickly. I want to stay up to date on the latest techniques, not to mention a lot of times just the documentation um, is more aligned with the latest version, right? And so there's all sorts of things that just being on kind of the newest version really helps with. But it's tough when things change and evolve over time and they evolve so quickly. And so the average person, I think, gets lost in the shuffle. And so I wanted to take a step back and say, like, okay, what does this mean from a longer term level? If you listen to people in AI, we're all excited that the world is going to change overnight. And it probably will from a human existence point of view, but not necessarily the blink of an eye from an individual human point of view. So I expect probably within the next 3 to 5 years, we'll start to see some uh, more major shifts in how people operate. But one of the things that's really stood out to me is that technology tends to automate the lowest level skills it can. And the reason this is actually a really good thing is it enables humans to move up the ladder in terms of what they're learning. And so even in the realm of programming, right? In the earliest days of computers, programmers are writing, machine code essentially that is exactly what the computer needs to be able to understand. But as we've built out more of these primitives, we've built out things like operating systems that handle kind of the low level stuff. The level of abstraction keeps raising. And this is what we're going to see happen with jobs, I believe. So instead of humans doing a lot of the low level tasks, we just move up the value ladder. And so humans become more important from a strategic level than an actual like doing level. You have to be able to think longer term because you have to be able to see the second, third, fourth order consequences of what it is you're attempting to do. And the best way to do this is with imagination. And that's one of the beautiful things about this generative AI space is it gives anyone a way to transform their imagination into something real. Now, that can be anything. And one of my favorite things that I love about AI is it's cheap enough and the costs are coming down that pretty soon anybody is going to be able to generate for anything they want and not have to worry about outlandish costs. The people focusing on this right now are mostly businesses and entrepreneurs that see a path to move forward, but or at least that's what we're told, or that's what we see that people are interested in doing, right? Because these are the things that get media attention, because there's a lot of combined incentives that want to get these ideas out into the world and show people what's happening at these big companies, right? But what you don't see are the people in the playgrounds, the people just messing around with things to see what they can create. Uh, I'm part of this group called ADHD with Benefits. We just meet every week and get together and chat, right? It's not a big deal. But one of the things I've started doing is I've started like generating images based on something we're talking about or replacing someone's profile picture if they don't have their camera on when we take the picture at the end of the session. Anything like that, right? It's goofy little stuff. It the messing around with things, just the creativity that can flow when we reduce the path between imagination and reality. Now, most people think they give up their imagination when they become adults. We don't have time to play pretend. It's the real world. We got to focus on real things. But all in all, like, get out and play with stuff. Like, have fun, use your imagination, because in all honesty, that's what's going to matter. The strategic positions are the ones that are going to really make the biggest difference because you're going to be driving things forward. With AI, you can do everything, but you need to figure out exactly what you want to be able to do. And so it doesn't matter what job you're in now. One of the things I would start paying attention to is how do we coordinate people to do different things? What do our supervisors do? How do we get these things coordinated? And how can I start thinking about things in terms of not what do I need to do today, but what do I need to do every day for the next 3 years? Or what are my goals for the next 6 months? What do I want to happen in those 6 months? How can I make that happen? And the wild thing is, a lot of the best stuff that's going to come out of this is stuff that we couldn't have imagined in the beginning. But as a result, people are going to start transforming their imaginations into something that can be ridiculously fun and profitable because people are going to start seeing opportunities arise as we get more tools in place to enable generative AI in the hands of anybody who wants to play with it. And that's what I'm most excited about. Like, everybody has the chance to really create the job they want and automate the rest of it. And that's what I think we're going towards. So really think about the stuff that you care about, the stuff that you want to see move forward, the things that you want to see evolve, and think about where AI can help you in those spaces, because the more you understand about the bigger problems that need solved and the longer term problems that need solved, the better off you are when it comes to working with AI and in an AI enabled future, because AI can do all this stuff, but it's up to you as the human to know what really needs doing because as humans, we're here to solve human problems. And who better knows human problems than humans? So think deeper about the problem, think longer term about the problem. And in the end, you'll have nothing to worry about as this AI revolution changes the way we think about work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.